everybody. So I've talked a lot about how to get our kids to sleep, why they might not be sleeping, but one thing that I haven't talked a lot about is the why of why it's important for kids to be sleeping. And by sleeping, I mean sleeping well, sleeping as much as their age recommends they sleep. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. So I'm going to start out by saying that this is not just random information from the internet. The things that I'm talking about today are actually from Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, and then a series of journal articles on children's sleep, looking at the benefits of getting enough sleep and the things that can happen when kids are not getting enough sleep. So, according to Johns Hopkins Hospital and these multiple studies have shown that kids who regularly get the sleep they need are, first of all, rated as happier by caregivers and having better moods. So this was a study that looked at daycare providers' ratings of kids and then also their mother's rating of these same kids outside of the daycare setting. Studies have also found that kids who regularly get enough sleep have a better attention span. And then this effect is actually exaggerated in kids who are already diagnosed with ADHD, in that if they are not regularly getting enough sleep, then their ADHD symptoms are rated as far worse than if they were getting enough sleep. Kids who regularly get enough sleep have better behavior, are more easily ready to learn new things, like vocabulary and visuospatial skills are some of the things that this study found. They have improved memory. They have better overall mental and physical well-being. And in toddlers that were still in need of a nap, napping was found to be necessary for memory consolidation. So these kids who napped in the middle of the day were better able to remember things that happened or that they learned earlier in the day when tested later in the day than kids who didn't take a nap and probably needed it. These toddlers that took regular naps had better executive attention. They had higher motor skill development. And of course, of all of these things that I've mentioned, many are likely related, right? So sleep problems result in a lower mood for adults and kids. Lower mood associates with more behavioral problems, being responded to in the way that kids often are when they have more behavioral problems might result in less happy affect, things like that. But overall, there are a lot of benefits that research has found to making sure that your child is getting enough sleep. And if you're wondering, are most kids getting enough sleep? The answer is that the American Academy of Pediatrics has found that an entire quarter of kids under the age of 5 do not get enough sleep on a regular basis for a multitude of reasons. And so there are some also negative effects of not getting enough sleep, other than just the opposite of what I mentioned earlier. So, kids who are regularly not getting enough sleep can present as having ADHD, even if they actually don't fit the criteria for a diagnosis of ADHD. They have poor immune functioning. I think that we can all relate to that. When we're tired and run down, it's more likely that we're gonna get sick. And of course, that's something that's a little more important right now as well. Kids who didn't get enough sleep on a regular basis were actually found to have higher blood pressure, higher incidence of obesity, higher incidence of diabetes, and then a higher incidence of depression and anxiety. And then not to mention that not getting enough sleep can also be a trigger for more frequent and intense nightmares and night terrors. So, as I was reading these studies again, I had the thought that, being happier, more alert, ready to learn, having better behavior and mental and physical well-being. These are all things that we as parents try so hard in many aspects to improve for our kids, right? We buy them the educational toys, we try to get them to eat their vegetables, we try to read on how we can respond to them in ways that are gonna improve their well-being. We overanalyze, where we send them to daycare or preschool. And the truth is that so many of these things can actually be improved simply through sleep. So if we can do that, I say we do it, and we do what's best for our kids, and we take the steps necessary to get them to sleep. So hopefully you found this useful. I'd love to hear if you have seen any of this yourself with your kids when they're not sleeping in the comments. And also I wanted to mention that if you found this valuable and you want to dive deeper into the topic of sleep and get some information on exactly, why your kid probably isn't sleeping, what all of the things you can do to improve your child's sleep in a really comprehensive, long-lasting manner are. So I have a brand new course I decided that's coming out very soon. I've been tossing around the idea for a while and decided to go for it because I think for a lot of families, it makes a lot more sense than one-on-one consulting to get all of the information in one place, step by step, with a community of people who are doing the same thing for less than they're going to spend getting all of that during sleep consultations. So if you would like to have some more information about this, be sure to get, right now I'm actually pre-selling the course for a very reduced price because I want to get some feedback from you guys on what I can do to make it better. But after that, after Friday, I'm going to be starting a wait list for the course, which I hope to open the course on March 2nd. So, like I said, pre-selling the course till Friday at a reduced rate, and then I'll just be starting a wait list for it until then. So if you would like information on that, head to The Positive and Practical Parent on Facebook and send me a direct message. Or you can also send an email to support@positivepracticalparenting.com. And I hope that we can start together and I can get some information from you ahead of time on how to make that course the best possible. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.